Hi guys, this is Breaker. Well, for some strange reason, StarCraft isn't showing up on my, there we go, XSplit. But, right now, the entire purpose of me casting this replay is going to be to test out my new audio equipment. I've got the AT2020 microphone, but enough about that. Let's get the introduction to our players underway. In the roughly 1 o'clock position, Catalina LE, our red Protoss, is going to be StormTrooper. And he belongs to a team called TGBM. 9 o'clock position, spawning as our blue Terran, he is Crux. Luck13 Crux. Alright, so got a little bit of fill-in time. I guess this is where I go ahead and fill you in on just who I am and what I'm doing by casting your replay. My name is BreakerSC2. If you've seen the Leifeng Cup being casted by a guy, that was actually me. My channel on twitch.tv is twitch.tv/BreakerSC2. I used to run the channel ESL Taiwan, in case you guys remember me filling into the RSL before that tournament was discontinued. And also a couple of times I filled in for the ATC. That's the Acer Team Story Cup. And since, of course, we do have a little bit more fill-in time to go with, I'm going to go ahead and just take things into quick vlog mode. It takes about 2 minutes for the game to build up, for those of you who are new to the game. So, I guess you could say this morning I kind of woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and I thought to myself, you know, is it time to quit? Is it time to quit casting? I did kind of, you know, set a goal for myself, but at the same time I have to realistically say that I in some ways met that goal and in other ways I didn't. But at the same time I also want to highlight that I'm not where I want to be. And the one thing that keeps me going is the fact that this is the only thing I know how to do. I do make money with a day job that is not, what's the word I'm looking for? Not affiliated with any way, shape, or form. I teach English here in Taiwan as my day job. And it's a little bit demoralizing because as long as you are a foreigner, as long as you have a non-Asian appearance in Taiwan or anywhere in Asia for that matter, then English with or without a degree. And in many cases, I find myself with coworkers that are working essentially illegally. Anyway, that's off topic. For the time being, let's go ahead and highlight that our blue Terran is going for a tab on his barracks. Not going to go straight into or anything like that. That's kind of a tell here. I mean, I did read the title on the cast it title to the submission, if you will, for map hacker, and I think okay, yeah, I think we know who the map hacker is, assuming there is a map hacker. I think this isn't some, you know, accusation. StormTrooper sent his probe down to the 6 o'clock position and then brought it back here, so now he knows what's up, and he sees already that there are marauders in production from that barracks. It's quite a, how do I say this, a very strange decision to make. Not all that standard in the matchup, but there's already a single marauder on the way to the natural of, at this moment he has a stalker on the way. I think putting it in a very, how do I say this, Freudian counterattack mode, if you will. If you are playing this Terran, you are trying to kill whatever stalkers are in production right now, and now I have every reason to believe that in fact this is a map hacker, maybe. And in production behind this, we have Widow Mines, and that's going to actually cause a lot of damage to the mineral line, assuming they can actually get into. This is not looking good right now for Crux. He's only going to have maybe a single stalker by the Marauders hit, and even 1 versus 1, a stalker can't take down a Marauder. Robo on the way as well. Mines are on. Third Marauder. Second one as well. This is going to be a very, very difficult hold, I think, presently. Stim is already on the way in the background. Positive shells that may be to detriment of Crux. Now he's going to go ahead and don't mind right there. The first stalker is going to go out there. There's no saving him whatsoever. A few probes will be lost here, and Bishop Core is going to be able to Marauders, but not all of them. And the mothership itself will be able to deal with them fairly well, but the Widow Mine! Oh, jeez. Okay, well, one of them was taken down. The one that's reloading is actually still alive, and now at the moment we have Immortals on the way. In order to get rid of those Widow Mines, though, he's really going to need observers a matter of seconds. But here we go. More barracks on the way in the background, and I think we can see clearly that Crux is kind of going balls to the wall all in with this. Marauder is alive on the high ground, but it's okay. We're going to production will able to outscale the Marauder production, and Crux is aware of this, so he's gone ahead and just decided to keep going with the natural expansion. And thus far, checking the losses, it really hasn't been too terribly bad for our Protoss. Yes, he's lost workers, he's lost a handful, and there's no energy on this mothership core for a second Nexus cannon. Widow Mine looks like it was dealt with in fact, and now the Immortal's going to come in on Marauder at the natural. So excellent kind of breakaway here once you examine the situation from StormTrooper. He's got 27 probes left, as you can see in the upper right hand corner to his ASCVs. The production, however, has scaled up just a little bit for our Terran, and I think what he's going to try and do here is essentially, what's the word I'm looking for? Just try and make more and more in the way of Marines, and then just send them at the natural expansion. But, like Council, that can be a little bit iffy in this situation. Double forwards on the way as well, but if we can see StormTrooper head in the way of upgrades, so fantastic position. I do mean it in every essence of the word. He will be in a fantastic, absolutely fantastic starport on the way, reactor on the reactory that is going to be popped out with a starport. Server's been caught on to, just waiting for that energy to come down from a scan, and not going to be ready for another 40. This guy. What on earth is he doing? Facing that observer. He's trying to, I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to face check. He's trying to say, hey man, get that observer out of my main. I don't want it here. But, alas, we have enough energy for a scan. Is he going to waste it? No. Natural expansion. Both Dust Beam Geysers have been taken. +1/+1 on the way. There's no AoE in the mix now for StormTrooper. That's the one thing that kind of just a little bit frightens me. You typically would want to have at least one form of AoE. What's the word I'm looking for? Or facing off against the Terran at this stage. At least that's the threat. Down that observer. But I mean, right now StormTrooper is going to be, I think, comfortable knowing what his opponent has at this stage. He saw that there were no gases at the natural, I believe, so that gives him a little bit of a tell. But that means he's probably going to have to try and check up on what his opponent is doing in another, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe, or what's the scale of time I'm looking for? Rather, maybe something along the lines of 3 minutes from now. But already Crux is moving out, and StormTrooper doesn't have too much to defend with here. He's going to have the Mothership Core back here to throw down a Nexus Cannon. By the time this army arrives at the main, there should be enough energy for about 2 Nexus Cannons. So that means, if necessary, he can throw it down at the natural, and then another one at the main. This Observer, though, is going to thwart them. Caught onto both the Observer and the attack. Now, everything is kind of relocating itself from StormTrooper. Gas being taken now at the natural. +2/+2 already away from our Protoss. Stalker is waiting That's an awkward unload. I'm not sure if this guy's a, I don't know. Well, the title said map hacker, but I mean, like, something here is making me look at this like abnormal, what we're seeing in this game anyway. Zealots are going to increase. The army size is actually increasing from both sides. That's something to take note of, but typically Protoss is always able to exchange just a little more effectively than Terran. But you know, the charge lots going in there, surrounding nearly that entire army. And the Immortals are going to have a field day with the Marauders, but the Marines are stemming and moving back, just peppering away at all of the armored charge lots, if you will. Got +1 armor and +1 attack, and beyond this, backing off for the time being. But the Immortals, they look like they're gonna get focused down. If he loses both of them, this is gonna be catastrophic. It looks like he turns around, he pulls the Zealots back, and the Marauders are splitting up frantically, but they were all expended. About it for the time being. +2 attack is so close to finish for StormTrooper. Beyond this, in the background, the medevac count is going to increase. That, we all know what that means. That means basically as this game goes on, we could actually see each and every Marine and Marauder have its own personal healer. That's never, ever something you want to deal with as a player, or even a Zerg. Third base getting started beyond this for Crux, and the same coming down from StormTrooper, but he's down in army supply. In this situation, I feel like he's going to be stretched. He really is. And at this point, Crux did behave. What is coming down from StormTrooper, given the fact that he's just making Zealots, and that's about it for the time being. Direction on the way in the background. Time Warp going down on top of this army, and this army attacking across the map. He's somewhat effectively. Worth his time, worth his while, if you will. And amazingly, both sides taking their third base, neither really being cut down. This is another A move back from Crux, trying to just get the Stalkers and the Zealots out of the equation. Now I feel like Crux has to pull back home. He has to pull all of his reinforcements together. He has to try and hold maybe back to full SCPs. The Stalker's actually targeting down the medevacs. And this guy's not got his afterburners activated, and that's just going to put Crux in a more painful position. Have the medevac count. So he kind of has a solid-ish medevac count for the time being. +3/+3 is already on the way from StormTrooper. Who on earth is the map hacker here? I can't really tell at this stage in the game. Third base is already settled for both players, and I want to highlight... Wait. StormTrooper didn't oversaturate his main or his natural, so that means he's going to have to start over fresh with a bunch of, say, just cranking out probes manually to go to that third base. +3/+3 is already on the way from StormTrooper. And, I mean, even though he's down in the army supply, he's already at +2/+2. That's going to allow him to exchange effectively. High Templar working their way into the mix as well is something that's going to come out. And now we've got the Marine Marauder Shredder machine. That's going to be Storm Colossus. But the third base, ultra exposed. Then goes in, and I think this is where he can pick off the base. Not ready on these Stalkers, it was never even begun. There it is. Notice then a move. Feedback's going down on all these medevacs, trying to ensure that there's no miss. Of them get shut down thus far, and I wonder, how does Crux feel knowing that his medevacs were not blinked onto? That one moment in the game where if you're a StormTrooper, you just at that corner. I should have gotten blink. He's already lost his third base. He's down a little bit in the way of army supply, but he does have his +2/+2 upgrades. +3/+3. How does he use this? Question. Meanwhile, the army of Crux is actually divided, and you can actually see StormTrooper. And it's the storms have to go down, the storms have to go down, the storms are not going down, though. Finally, we have one that goes down, and an Archon started more, but that was picked off. Crux now working his way into the middle of the map with some of his reinforcements. That's no bueno in that position. But at this stage in the game, what happens? We have Colossus coming into the mix. Never started, but I saw it begin at one point. Nice thing sticks on me. That's not a good introduction, but another big engagement coming down from StormTrooper, and he is working his way into his opponent's natural. This might be... We're about to find out. Bunker getting totally surrounded. It's more of a fate than anything else. SCV's coming off the line. That's never a good position as any race when you've got your own workers coming off the line. Might be an attack that we could see Crux defend. There it is, the Immortal kind of getting focused down there. He's going to be dealt with rather adequately. And that's a lot of workers we just saw eliminated. That was the revenge of the third base all over again. But at the same time, the natural is still standing there, coming from our blue Terran. So he's got the, how do I say this, the opportunity, the win, if you will, in some ways. And I feel like that might have been a stiff overextension coming from Storm. Especially given the fact that the Colossus was not in the mix. When you don't have AoE to deal with, you know, that much... what's the word I'm looking for? That much bio, that much Terran coming at you. it can make an engagement just ultimately much more infuriating. Yes, you've got +2/+2, now 3/3, and yes, you take 1 unit at a time very effectively, but it just doesn't compare to the Wrath of a Colossus. The extended thermal lance is still not in the game. A single Colossus, it might have been a bait to get Viking production in the game, but now it's like Crux is taking it. I don't want to say a totally ineffective engagement, but he's getting the worst end of it. Ghosts now on the way coming from our blue Terran. And going down to reveal the position of his army, and like this could be the most exciting games that I've ever witnessed. The Colossus getting pulled back, microed back just a little bit, and now this looks like a desperate defense coming from Crux. They are working their way into the natural. That SCV line is not entirely forfeit, but he needs that orbital command if he wants any chance. SCV is pulled to attack now. Everything here is divided here from Storm. Not looking too good. And oh my god, there's nothing to tank here for the Colossus that are just now going in there, and it looks like the bio on the ground is just going to clean them up. Colossus number 1 is going to fall. Colossus number 2 looks like he'll be down and dealt with shortly. A lot of these medevacs are low energy and low HP, and the closest reinforcements are actually halfway across the map, and that second Colossus does in fact fall. I feel like maybe in some ways that was a little bit of luck coming from Crux. I'm not trying to say he's a bad player by any means, but I feel like maybe some parts of this made me think, okay, well, he just doesn't have the economy to make mass Vikings to deal with the Colossus, therefore he didn't overproduce on Vikings and didn't make anything to deal with Colossus. But here we go, the Doom Drop hitting the main coming from Crux. He's got everything he needs here to end the game. He has to destroy everything. Colossus coming out. Still no extended thermal lance. That's what happens when you just rush for that +3/+3. But I mean, at the same time, there's also a few mistakes that are being made here. The Triad Council is taken down. There we go. Finally, StormTrooper calls out the GG. He concedes. He leaves the game. I'm not sure if... Honestly, I'm not sure if either side was a map hacker in this game. I can't say with absolute certainty by any means. So I just want to go ahead and throw out there once again that I am Breaker SC2. If you guys would like to go ahead and leave some feedback on this cast, I'm trying to get my microphone in line, make sure everything is fantastic with it. I'm considering buying a mixer, but that's enough from me for today, guys. I'll see you guys next time.